Okay, sorry about that. Thank you, Golden Amethyst 999. Okay, so now everybody should be able to hear me. My name is Cassandra Faye Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates. I was in a relatively good mood before I got on the call, and then I just got some long ass text about some drama and family shit and whatever. I'll deal with it later. So I'm just gonna do a straight read. Actually, I don't think I'm going to. Let's see. Oh, that's done. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do. Hold on, let me set up my IG too. Man, like I need a break from bad news. This shit is getting fucking old, man. Shit is dumb. Uh, what's his name? I just got good news though. I just logged on to IG trying to get ready to get this done, and I just the first thing that I saw coming onto IG is that Nature Boy, the cult leader, um, he just got life in prison. He just got life in prison for crimes he committed while leading this cult. That's right on the front page of my IG. Let's see. What's today? The 5th? Yeah, there's a lot going on. So I'm going to try to pull my shit together um, before the end of the night because there's a lot going on. I'm being interviewed tomorrow at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time by a woman who's been following me since I began the process of reading The Great Cosmic Mother. So for some years now, she lives in India. She's an Indian woman and is looking to interview me tomorrow. I've been getting the request for a lot of interviews lately. Let's see, is that on? Yeah. And so that's happening tomorrow. A lot is happening this month. I told you, let me just do a preface before I get into the book because I'm not going to do another live today. Um, so there's a lot going on this month. I've been getting several requests for readings. I really want to encourage you to get your readings. To get your readings this month. We are 60, we're 78 days out, 78 days out from the presidential election. And, you know, every October, they have, I forget what it's called. It's like the October surprise. That's what it's called. Some of y'all are too young to be familiar with the concept. But every election year, they have what they call the October surprise. We think it's just some random turn of events, but it is usually an orchestration, a last ditch orchestration to get people invested and involved in the electoral process. Typically, it's some event that is it's always fear driven. It's always a fear campaign. It's always a fear driven campaign. Shit like a mass shooting or a school shooting or something big. It's called the October surprise. Google it. It's called the October surprise. Every electoral year, the month before the election, October, they will throw some wrench in the game to reinvigorate those outliers, those people who like, you know what, this some bullshit. I'm not voting this year. Can't none of them have my vote. And then some event happens that plucks away at your heartstrings and gets you reinvigorated for the electoral process, seeing it as the only solution and the only way forward. That ain't but a few weeks away. You feel me? The thing that I think is going to drive the October surprise is the fact that we're coming into eclipse season. Eclipse season starts this month with the eclipse in Pisces happening on the 18th of this month. Shortly after that, less than 2 weeks after that, We have as a matter of fact, that same week, the end of that same week, we have the autumn equinox, right? But there's also a ton of other cosmological happenings during this month that are going to intensify eclipse season, that's going to intensify the energy of the equinox, leading into this bullshit because the second week, no, the first week. So the eclipse is on the 18th, on October 2nd. The eclipse on the 18th is a lunar eclipse. The eclipse on October 2nd, 2 weeks later, is a solar eclipse, a big one, rounding out and completing the energy of October solar eclipse from last year on October 14th. The one that I told you about. The one that I told you these motherfuckers stood right up on this mountain and conducted a whole ass ritual with about 500 to 1,000 people, right? Right here in Hollywood. That eclipse, that total solar eclipse season is about to round out on October 2nd. What happened 4 days before October 14th? We were catapulted in terms of financial participation into the conflict in the Middle East that has yet to be resolved. That's what happened, right? And so this being an election year guarantees that whatever the October surprise is going to be tenfold, 20-fold, 100-fold of the occurrences of last year, October. Get your fucking readings. Your readings are not entertainment. I don't give a fuck when nobody says, oh, this is for entertainment purposes only. Your readings are not for entertainment. They are to give you the same quality and gravity of power that our opposition uses astrology for. They use astrology to maintain a stranglehold on power. They know you don't use it, so they don't have any opposition. They plan based on astrology, and they can use that and do that confidently because they know they have no opposition. Those few of you who do elicit a reading or use astrology or consult oracles, get the divination or whatever, those of you who do use it, you use it for entertainment purposes only. You use it to know what kind of affirmations you're going to do for the week. I need my money to be right. I need a new car or whatever. And man, we ain't got time for that. We need to be getting these readings. We need to be going and getting divination. Whatever it is, whatever your bag is, whatever it is that floats your boat. Consult with your oracles. What the fuck are they there for if it's not to chart a course for your life as an individual and chart a course for our existence as the collective? Get your fucking readings done and stop acting brand new. Now, we done been up on here for 5 years, me telling you the same shit over and over again. Over and over and over and over again. These motherfuckers use your magic, your wisdom, your ancient ancestral traditions to run circles around you. That's why the shit looked the way it looked. That's why the world looked the way it looked. These motherfuckers ain't smarter than us. They aren't older than us. They aren't wiser than us. They rock you to sleep with bullshit while using your ancestral traditions to rock circles around you. That's all. So now that y'all know. Stop acting brand new. Y'all know about Ifa. Y'all know about astrology. Y'all know through me the significance of learning and relearning astrology through the worldview of your cultural traditions. You know that now. You know that these stories are metaphors for our relationships in terms of power, tangible, maneuverable, manipulatable power. If your opposition can manipulate the power, bitch, you too can manipulate the power. The problem is y'all get power, y'all enter up into the traditions of your ancestors and end up doing bullshit against people who look just like you. Instead of attacking the source of all the ails humanity. God damn it, this wasn't what I was going to talk about. But instead of levying a collective response against all that ails humanity, even your fucked up relationships with one another, even the fact that you black women hate black women, even you white women who hate black women, even you Mexican women who hate black women, even you black men, red men, brown men, all you men who hate black women, who hate each other, who hate your children. Every fucked up relationship that we have on earth, yes, we can go see therapy. That's helpful. That's nice. They'll never come to the conclusion about what is the source of all that ails us. And the source of all that ails every fucking human being on earth, and for that matter, every human, every animal, every species, every microbe, every tree, every rock, the goddamn hole in the ozone layer, the source is the same. The source is the same. And we stay focusing on shit that is not the source of what ails us. We stay focusing on everything but what the fuck we have to stay focused on. I've been on here for 5 years telling y'all, we have to stage a contest with this bitch. I just told y'all last week, Shango says as the source of justice, that fear is natural, but the only remedy to fear is goddamn courage. You ain't even got the courage to get your goddamn divination so you can chart your course. Your divination, your tarot, your E5 reading, going to your Babalawo, going to your priest, going to your local healer, going to get divination is just like playing chess, bitch. You don't go up into a chess match without a goddamn strategy. Peeping the opposition. What are their characteristics? How do they move? How do they behave in the real world? Are they prone to cheat? So you can build a strategy around a motherfucker that you know is prone to cheat. You don't do that. You don't go into a goddamn chess match without a strategy, but you walk through your whole goddamn existence without a strategy, without a blueprint, just existing. And then treating those of us who have some insight about a way forward through and on top of this bitch. You look at us like we weirdos. What does she mean? I need to get a new moon reading. What does she mean? I need to get a full moon reading. Yet and still, I told you, I've been telling you since day one, I'm not an astrologer. I don't have the time freed up to study astrology the way that I would like to. Eventually, I'm going to learn and master astrology. But what I do is study other astrologers and then take my black ass African-centered worldview and superimpose my understanding, the understanding of my ancestors, our metaphors, our mythologies, our cultural worldview onto a situation that helps me understand in the past, this is how these relationships between the planets, this is what it's manifested. This is what has come as a consequence. Every time these planets meet each other, once in 200 years, once in 500 years, this is how to prepare. This is how to chart a course for the future. I've been telling you that with my limited understanding of astrology. And I'll be goddamn, there are people who call me right now, email me right now. Goddamn, you said that shit. You ain't even an astrologer. You don't have to be a soothsayer. You don't have to be a future reader. When you get a reading from me, I'm not reading your future. I'm not reading your future. I am prone to prophetic inclinations, but I haven't mastered that. That's not something I put forward. What I am is a doctor. What I am is a doctor of Chinese medicine, a traditional Chinese medicine, which is an ancient system that's not just medicine. It's political, it's scientific, it's mythological. Learning how to bridge the gap in these spaces that have been created to take advantage of us. That's why, as a historian, I can watch some guy talk about the historical significance of Pluto in Capricorn and Pluto in Aquarius and understand clearly what the future potential is for us. Not because I have a crystal ball, but because I understand political history, because I understand history. What did I tell y'all last week on the Wheel of Time? That motherfucker say, look, I gotta make y'all laugh. I gotta shuck and jive. I gotta sing cute songs and shit. That's the only way you will hear me, because to know who I really am would terrify you. To know who I really am would terrify you. And the young boy said, well, who are you? He said, I am the master of history. He who knows history has the power to control everything. That's what he said. That's what he said. And so here I am in here today, every day, frustrated in my present. I got up today really outgoing and really optimistic because I'm still high off the energy of this new moon. I'm still really encouraged by the readings that I did for the women who sought me out this week, who took advantage of the new moon reading this week, which every single reading I did was powerful. I'm in here taking notes on other people's readings because intervention is coming through for me, even as I'm reading for them. Even as I'm reading for them. I'm like, come on in the room then, mother. You obviously have some shit to say this week. I don't know what else to tell y'all. I don't give a fuck who you go to. Go and see an oracle. Go and sit at the foot of some nappy-headed ass Sybil and let her work her way on you so we can collectively chart a course to win this bitch. Otherwise, what is happening is what is going to be a guarantee. A future that is worse, always worse. Because that's all these, we're the victims of a death cult, y'all. The whole globe. Everybody on earth are the victims of a death cult. The only outcome of a death cult is death. Mass death, individual death, fucking spiritual death, intellectual death, emotional death. That's the only outcome. So for you to continually believe that this shit gonna get better once some new nigga sit up in the office, once some new motherfucker sit up on the goddamn high seat in the goddamn White House. For you to continually believe that, even though your circumstances perpetually get worse, well, we messed up last time, you feel me? But we just got to put more political pressure. We got to do more demonstrations and we got to do more boycotts and shit. And you really believe this process is going to win you something. The government is not the issue. The government is not the issue. We are all the unwitting participants, victims of a global death cult. Spearheaded by your Jesus. Spearheaded by Jesus. Jesus is the face and personification of a death cult. It's right there in your face. It's hidden in plain sight. He had to die for you to live. Martyrdom as a pillar that holds this bitch up. There's glory in death. There's glory in dying for one's cause. There's glory in sacrificing everything that makes you you. You understand? Get your motherfucking readings. Go to who you need to go to. Yes, I would encourage you come to me because I'm awesome. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I don't give a fuck who it is. We are not winning shit unless we get in front of this bitch. That means politically, get in front of this bitch. That means spiritually, get in front of this bitch. That means emotionally, financially, collectively, a unity of will. Get in front of this goddamn monstrous bitch that has plagued the planet. I don't know what got me on that. But this month is radical. The potential for this month is radical in either direction, depending on who is steering the energy of the month. Is it you or is it your opposition? Is it we or is it the goddamn government in the unholy trinity? Child, I'm done preaching at y'all. This shit got me in my motherfucking emotions today. I'm in a good mood. I know it don't seem like it. I'm actually in a great mood. But, yo, that's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. Let's read this goddamn book. If I can get the fuck up out of here. Fool me. Anyway, those of you who are joining me for the first time, those of you who are rejoining me and may have the book, we are continuing the reading of Beyond God the Father and Toward a Philosophy of Women's Liberation. Beyond God the Father and Toward a Philosophy of Women's Liberation by Mary Daly, who be chopping heads. Let me tell you what happened today. I got another digression to make. I am rewatching a lot of shit because I do that. I will recall some old shit that I watched long time ago, and then I'll recall it. And I'm like, damn, I need to rewatch that because it probably means something different now than it did when I watched it without my same brain. Baby, I've been in here caught the fuck up for about last week rewatching the series Visitor, or V, about the aliens who've been living among us as alien human hybrids wearing human skin, you feel me, plotting the takeover of the planet. And they've been up on this motherfucker like 20, 30 years, you feel me, plotting and scheming, living among humans, putting humans in positions of high leadership, the FBI, the CIA, the government, in the goddamn Roman Catholic Church, aliens everywhere, aliens. You feel me? They got relationships and shit. You feel me? I'm sitting here. I've been caught up on this shit for a week. today I was watching V doing my hair before I got up on here. I was like, well, it's going to take me about 45 minutes to do my hair. Let me watch another episode of V before I get the fuck up on here to read. You feel me? Let me tell you what happened today. I have told y'all this. I have told y'all this 100 times. 100 times. When I did that damn video about the Dalai Lama molesting that child on TV and nobody took up for the child, you feel me? And I said, what we need for men, because men can't lead. Men can't lead. Men won't lead if I have anything to say about it. That the period for y'all leading is dead and buried for a while. We're going to need a whole lot of time without y'all leading. Y'all complying to the will of the mother for a motherfucking change, the same way you've complied with the government, the state, the motherfucking police, the military. We're gonna need that same guy, the same energy, the same revolutionary spirit, the same conviction, and the same compliance. What the fuck I say, no questions asked. It ain't a democracy, and it ain't up for goddamn discussion. Hadn't I been telling y'all that? This is the period. This is the period. Prove your alliance to the mother's will. Prove your commitment to the mother's will. Keep your motherfucking mouth shut and bring that same revolutionary radical energy and spirit and conviction into the shit, right? That's what I was saying. So how about tonight? I'm watching V, right? The episode, childish shit. I got to do a little summation about V on another day. But there are the V, you feel me? And everybody's like, oh my God, they're so benevolent. They're like great, right? They're doing all the things and bringing all the technology. Then there is a renegade crew, right? Who like, this shit is suspect. Ain't nobody this motherfucking nice. Ain't nobody giving up this kind of gifts and ain't expecting some shit in return. They suspect, right? And so the group that is like the clandestine group against the V, trying to expose and destroy the V, or get the V the fuck up out of here, are called the fifth column, right? The fifth column ends up being, because I'm in season 2 now, the fifth column ends up being the core group of the fifth column ends up being an FBI agent, a paid assassin, a goddamn priest who eventually becomes an excommunicated priest, but still all with his priestly tendencies, a scientist, and a Negro who actually is a V. They don't find out till later that he's actually V, that he ain't human, but he is fighting against the V's. You feel me? And so the FBI agent is a female. Everybody else is males. And baby, let me tell you what happened today, because that's where I stopped watching. I was like, what? Listen, so there's a conflict. The fucking priest who used to be a soldier, that's the dynamic that's got me fucked up. This motherfucker is always talking about, we can kill V's, but we can't kill humans. I don't care what the strategy is. We can't kill humans, okay? We can't kill humans. Now, we can murk as many V's as we need to, but we cannot kill humans because we have to honor the sanctity of life. Mind you, this priest, who is supposed to be the moral compass of the group, they find out later that his ass fought in Iraq and he was a chaplain. He wasn't even a soldier. You get a rank even as a chaplain in the military, but he was not one of those ranks where he was a soldier. This motherfucker was a chaplain in Iraq in the military and still had 2 kills under his belt. You understand? He had 2 kills under his belt. But here he is constantly trying to be the moral voice of this renegade group, trying to keep some foreign invaders from killing and annihilating everybody on Earth. You feel me? This motherfucker be on my nerves. So you got a priest, a paid assassin, one of the highest sought after assassins on the FBI watch list. He becomes part of the crew. You feel me? The one Negro in the movie, and it's played by Morris Chestnut. He is an alien. He a V. You feel me? So today, she is getting all this grief from every side. She's surrounded by men, but she's the FBI agent. She's the one that's been able to pop the shots. Every time the V's take a hit, it's because she's on the inside. She FBI. She is actually on the fifth column. What you call it? The fifth column team in the FBI. So she's always 10 steps ahead of the group because she the one. She the one. She leads the local renegades, right? She's like, bitch, I do this. I've been in the FBI 20 years. Bitch, I do this. This is what I do. Espionage and shit. You feel me? So she is in this situation where they're about to initiate this campaign against the V's that could give them a real chance, right? Give them a real chance. And so, but it means, because what they're doing has not been tested, right? That there may be some human casualties. There may be up to 29 human casualties. The priest is like, we can't do it then. We can't. Meanwhile, the V's are murking bitches, okay? By the hundreds. All clandestine, like the public doesn't know the V's are killing humans, but the V's are killing humans, skinning humans, what do you call it? Experimenting on humans. They doing all kind of dirt. But because it's out of the public eye, they think the V is they think it's like they're just charity. They're just a charity organization who loves humans so much they just want to see us thrive, right? So the girl was like, look, we're talking about billions of people, and potentially, we don't even know that there's going to be casualties, potentially 29 casualties in order to get the jump on the V's. Like, those are odds I'm willing to take. Yes, I don't want to see humans die, but damn, I don't want to see billions of people die or become enslaved by a foreign entity looking to take over the planet. Like, there ain't no shit to even weigh. So this guy is really giving her a hard time, the priest. Meanwhile, the assassin is like, look, his ass, it's like she's the center, right? And the priest is her little angel on her shoulder, and the assassin is her little devil on her shoulder. Her Negro V guy is her damn her Judas, you feel me? And so on and so forth, right? So this guy is like, I'm not going to do this, whatever. The assassin was like, we got to run through whoever we got to run through. I ain't got no problems. I ain't got no problems running through every motherfucking body as long as our goal is accomplished, right? And so she finally turns to the priest because he is the sole voice of dissent. Now, she got a crew of 5 or 6 men who are like, yes, let's go. Like, these are healthy odds, right? And Dan Smith, please get off my shit with this shit. Stop. This ain't your platform, boo. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Go create your own platform. Don't be invading my shit with fucking paragraphs of comments that ain't got shit to do with what I'm talking about. The fuck, man. So anyway, finally, because she's very calm. She is an FBI agent. So she has learned to master her emotions and keep herself centered, even as the world is falling apart around her. She's like, look, this is what we got to do. You feel me? He is crying tears. I was pissed at this scene because that shit that he was doing, like grabbing her arm, you can't do this. I know this is not you, Erica. This is not you. This is not how you behave. And I'm like, what the fuck? Would he have done that if this was a general in his military? The same military where he had 2 kills under his belt as a military chaplain, would he have taken this tone and this voice of opposition under the guise of some kind of moral conviction if this had been a general in the military? If this had been a general in the military, did he have that same kind of conviction when it was 2 humans that he killed? No, he did that shit because she had a vagina. That's why he did it. The opposition would have been none. He would have kept his motherfucking mouth shut. And you know what she told him? She's like, you said you was military, right? He was like, yeah. She was like, you recognize that this is a war for human beings, right? He said, yeah. She said, so are you with us? He was like, yeah, it depends. She said, no. She said, am I your superior? Am I your superior? Am I your superior officer? He was like, well, yeah, if it's war. She said, then do what the fuck I say. I don't need a debate. I don't need a moral conscience in here. I need you to do what the fuck I say. I'm paraphrasing. I'm getifying, but that's what she said. As your superior officer, obey my commands. And she walked off. And I was like, yes, that is it. That is it. What I'm talking to y'all about over and over and over again. How men will manipulate our emotions to get from us what the fuck they want, to get us to do what they want. Here, this white boy done killed people in the military and ain't saying nothing to his crew about it. They had to find out on the sly, but he did it under orders. He did it under orders. He took orders from somebody who had a penis, who said, I don't care if you're a military chaplain, our lives are at stake, murk these bitches. And he said, yes, sir, and kept it pushing. But now, because the woman who is the lead in the department, in the FBI, say the same thing, now he got a moral conscience. He want to grab her arm. He want to debate with her and shed tears about how we can't afford to lose one human life. Anyway. Greetings, LYMC. Girl, it's been too long. Where you been at? Miss Carrie, where you been at? Where y'all been at? See, because people be falling off. You feel me? I'll be honest, y'all. I done lost a lot of followers. I don't tell y'all that too slick. I done lost a lot of followers. Ugh. I done lost a lot of followers. I be losing followers. You feel me? And I hate it because I listen, I pay attention to each and every one of you. I recognize each and every one of your names. If you come up on here more than once, I'm probably going to shout you out and call your name. You feel me? And so there's a lot of names I don't be seeing no more. I done hurt somebody's feelings. You feel me? I done pissed somebody off, several somebodies. But y'all know my nature. I'm just blood raw, that's all. But I'm guided by love. You feel me? And I did all this shit, all this tech shit with my StreamYard, and it said it please. I don't give a fuck. This shit is police. This shit is police. I done did everything. I done updated my software. I done... Yeah. Anyway. Child, life has been lifing. That's the understatement of the decade. Okay. So I promise I'm going to read this book, but there was something else that I said I was going to do the next time I did a live. Ooh, it is hot. It's like, y'all, there's a reason that people move to California. Because even when it gets hot, it's not humid hot. So it's this StreamYard shit is trash. Always. I like the idea of the platform, but they can't make the shit work. Anyway, it's hot. It's diabolically hot up in here. Even with the AC blazing. Okay. All right. Thank you, Golden Amethyst 999. Oh. Whew. Let me tell you something. Let me just share with y'all what Amethyst 999 just said. She said if you kept it raw as a man, there'd be no problem, right? Straight up. There ain't a thing that I've said in the 5 years I've been on YouTube that y'all would have taken offense at if I had a penis. Even you women who say you support me, who say you believe me, who say you vibing on what I'm talking about. As soon as y'all panties getting up in a bunch, it's because I'm a bitch. It's because I'm a woman. Because there is nothing, not one word I've said on here in 5 years. Not one. Not one. Not a word I've said on here in 5 years that would have you jump ship, abandon, fuck that bitch, whatever. Not a word. not a word, that if I had a penis would be problematic. I'm clear. I'm crystal as clear. Anyway, let on to a lighter note. I swear I'm gonna read this book. But the next time I came up on here, I was inspired yesterday, and I meant to do it yesterday, but I ended up having to work till midnight. Whatever. So today, I am gonna read a poem to you. It's not my poem. Okay. So when I read the poem, I'm going to encourage you to go to this artist's. I don't even know if they have a site, but I'll tell you where you can purchase their music. This is a poem written by a sister who leads a band. Okay. I'm going to read the poem first because it's good and I want to be inspiring, even as I can be challenging, right? And like, open your eyes to the quagmire in front of you. I also want to be encouraging. I also want to be inspiring. You feel me? So I'm going to read a poem to you. Here it goes. An artist's prayer. May we forever do our thing. May watermelons spring from our mouths and mountaintops easily from our fingertips. May rats uncomfortably scatter from the radius of our rhythms. Dizzy, damaged promptly, arguments interrupted with imagination. We will seek out ugly and show it us until it feels shame. This is an artist's prayer. We are honored to be an underground railroad in audio form. This profession ain't no hiding place on the battlefield. Does this look like shininess we'll never be able to afford? Bling bling like nothing but statistics stacked against my people? Sewage drained into a subconscious to pickpocket a future in the midst of a techno takeover by pasteurized alabaster? These notes are made from our intestines, these colors from our bloodlines. Our dance steps are just our tears in portable form. This is an artist's prayer. And because vicious days have gone platinum, may all our poems go ruby. We are extra with the red that set the rainbow off after the storm. Fat ain't gonna be enough to describe this to a friend. Our eyes just in time to witness, of course, a metamorphosis. Woe to those trying to stop these killer African bees from making honey. Our babies, with their smile, will be our actual masterpieces. We give thanks for, we ask for forgiveness for. We are just mothers that can't help ourselves, a franchise of the very beginning, trying to stick to that moment in time when it was said, let there be light. Ashe, 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 oh, woo! An artist's prayer by the band Fertile Ground. I downloaded everything that they ever made. I think they did like 3 albums. You can go. I got it off Amazon. I downloaded their albums off. They're not together as a band anymore, but I downloaded all their music and all their poems off Amazon. I think it's got 3 albums. Everything is swinging. I don't remember the sister's name that fronts the band, but she's a powerhouse. YouTube, Fertile Ground, the band, right? You'll have to put band in it or music in it. But I encourage you today. That is an artist's prayer by the band Fertile Ground. I hope you are inspired. I love that poem so much. All right. So that's that. I'm done with the digression. So again, for those tuning in late, for those of you who have your books and you're following along, we are reading Beyond God the Father and Toward a Philosophy of Feminist Liberation by Mary Daly, who, yes, it is true, be snatching wigs, punching out teeth, all the things. Okay? So go ahead and pre-clutch your pearls. The next section that we're starting on is called New Space, New Time. The unfolding of God, then, is an event in which women participate as we participate in our own revolution. The process involves the creation of new space, in which women are free to become who we are, in which there are real and significant alternatives to prefabricated identities provided within the enclosed spaces of patriarchal institutions. As opposed to the foreclosed identity allotted to us within those spaces, there is a diffused identity, an open road to discovery of the self and of each other. The new space is located always on the boundary, Its center is on the boundary of patriarchal institutions such as churches, universities, national and international politics, families. Its center is the lives of women whose experience of becoming changes the very meaning of center for us by putting it on the boundary of all that has been considered central. In universities and seminaries, for example, the phenomena of women's studies is becoming widespread. And for many women involved, this is the very heart of thought and action. It is perceived as the core of intellectual and personal vitality, often as the only part of the curriculum which is not dead. By contrast, many male administrators and faculty view women's studies as peripheral, even trivial, perhaps hardly more serious than the ladies' page of the daily newspaper. Let's see, of the daily newspaper. Most good administrators do sense that there is something of vitality there, of course, and therefore tolerate or even encourage women's studies. It was StreamYard, now it's my IG. But it remains on the boundary. So too the coming. So too the. Oh my fucking god! Damn, man, shit. Damn. So too the coming together of women on the boundary of the church. Let's see. So too the coming together of women on the boundary of the church is the center of spiritual community, unrecognized by institutional religion. The new space, then, has a kind of invisibility to those who have not entered it. It is therefore inviolable. Inviolable. At the same time, it communicates power, which paradoxically is experienced both as power of presence and the power of absence. Oh, uh huh. It is not political power in the usual sense, but rather a flow of healing energy, which is participation in the power of being. For women, for women who are becoming conscious, that participation is made possible initially by casting off the role of the other, which is the nothingness imposed by a sexist world. The burst of anger and creativity made possible in the presence of one's sisters is an experience of becoming whole, of overcoming the division within the self that makes nothingness block the dynamism of being. Instead of settling for being warped, instead of settling for being a warped half of a person, which is equivalent to a self-destructive non-person, the emerging woman is casting off role definitions and moving towards androgynous being. Holy, what the, whoa, whoa. This is not a mere becoming equal to men in a man's world. Come on, Mary. Damn. Child. She said, this is not a mere talking about us becoming androgynous beings. God damn. Yo. Yo. Let me tell you something. I had this conversation. I'm not going to digress. Let's go. It is rather something like God speaking forth God's self in the new identity of women, while life in the new. Oh, fuck. God damn. I cannot. I can't. Oh my God. Fuck. This is not mere. This is not a mere becoming equal to men in a man's world, which would mean settling for footing within the patriarchal space. It is rather something like God speaking forth God's self in the new identity of women. I have to digress. Y'all, let me tell you what the fuck I'm going through right now. This is a sensitive subject. So if you are weak-skinned, be the fuck up out of here. No, Miss Carrie, she is saying we have to be androgynous, not take on the state of androgyny. We have to be androgynous. The problem is, which is what I was going to address, is our definition and what has been presented to us as androgyny has always tended towards masculinity. Always. I was just talking about this the other night. I was like, even it's so interesting to me because let me tell you, in this discussion, I'm not queer. I'm not LGBTQIA, though I am an ally to that community, right? So I'd be real hesitant, real tiptoey about how I address issues that are peculiar to that community. But I was having this discussion the other night about some observations that I'm having in this discussion that are concerning to me, especially when it comes to like gender nonconforming people, trans people, and so on. How I've never in any space that I have been in, whether it's indigenous, so-called two-spirit people, whether it's straight up LGBTQIA people, everything is so super political. There's never a discussion in any of these spaces about the spiritual potential and the spiritual implications of how we present in the world where gender is concerned. I've never heard it. And I've been in spiritual spaces with two-spirit people. I've never heard it, even in spiritual spaces. So I'm like, what the fuck am I observing? Because I can tell y'all, which I've told y'all before, I have very clear memories in my dreams and in my waking self of my life as male, having past lives where I have been born a man. Clear images, child. Clear images of what my wife looked like, what my children looked like. And I was like, okay, baby, I'll be honest, that ain't even just a super spiritual statement. Not me as the scientist, if we can recognize that flowing through our blood, in our DNA, the collective memories of 14 generations of family members, that's not a stretch to say I can remember, I have memories of being a man. That's not a stretch, and it's not a super esoteric or disembodied or mythological statement. It's a very real, probable scientific statement, especially if, with African traditions, we talk about how we believe in familial reincarnation. We're born through our DNA. We're born through our offspring and our family members, right? That's not a stretch. And so this conversation, I have never, in the 6 years I've been here in California, I've never heard that. Those kinds of spiritual contributions entering into a space where everybody who feels uncomfortable in their body is automatically concedes that they are dysmorphic, that they are inherently flawed, and that the only way to fix the flaw is through intervention, scientific interventions. That's not to say that there aren't people who internalize the overlap, if you will, in how they present where gender is concerned. That's not the discussion I'm having. When she talks about here how the woman becoming what they were experiencing as the collective becoming of women, recognizing that our sex, that our gender has what had us the perpetual other in society. To become androgynous is to become powerful, because even in this society, even among women, we all internalize that power is synonymous with masculinity. That women, people born female, have no right to proximity to power, to possess power. That's what this shit has taught us. So to become androgynous, the way she is talking about, is about the acquisition of power in women re-becoming, in women becoming whole humans. What does androgyny mean in this context? What am I always talking to you about spiritually? Those of you who have had me read you personally, what am I always saying about the Lover's card? What am I always saying about the suit of the bowls? that the bowls is a representation of the harmony of opposites, not the antagonisms of opposites, the harmony of opposites. Within each and every one of us, there is a sacred masculine and a divine feminine within each and every one of us. And within each and every one of us, one of those, the sacred masculine or the divine feminine, has been imprisoned because of our gender within the context of a colonial goddamn established world dominated by males. Males, divine feminine is imprisoned and weakened and battered, so they become malignant versions of the masculine. In females, in women, in a society that tells them they have no right to power, no right to possess power. If you possess power in any manifestation, the first thing you're going to say is, why are you acting like a man? Why are you acting like a man? And so in a female who has been denied access to power, denied the access of becoming a whole human, of developing a healthy ego, developing a healthy sense of herself and her space and her sovereignty, her divine masculine, her sacred masculine too is imprisoned and brutalized and hidden deep. And so she becomes these malignant versions of femininity that usually cater to the malignant needs of the goddamn masculine within males. And unfortunately, what I am experiencing all too often, because there's an absence of discussion about what this shit means in the real world, is within these communities of people who I love, people who I am dear friends with, LGBTQIA plus people. It's interesting when people say that they are gender non-conforming. Generally, like people who are, I've seen people who were born male who are gender non-conforming, and they, in my estimation, present more gender non-conforming than people born female who profess to be gender non-conforming. People born female who profess to be gender non-conforming, almost 100% of the people that I have met who are female, born female, gender non-conforming, their presentation is always masculine. It's not like they're wearing a dress and in a suit and tie or growing facial hair. It's like every single person born female who is gender non-conforming, their expression, their presentation is masculine. That's a response to their external stimuli. The males, the gender non-conforming people who are born male are gifted power at birth, baby. So their audacity allows them to grow full beards and facial hair and still put on makeup and still wear their hair long and big curls and still wear sequins and do all of those things where they are obviously masculine and feminine. Gender non-conforming people born male present with a level of audacity that I have not seen people born female who profess to be gender non-conforming. The issue is the same. Being born female automatically, it's like getting a fucking brand or a tattoo as soon as you are born. As soon as you are born and identified female, bitch, that means an extraction and a removal and no access to the acquisition of power. The acquisition of power is about self-defining, being able to be self-defining, being able to be self-determining, being able to be fully sovereign, being able to set the terms for your entire existence. So these females, people born female who are gender non-conforming, or better yet, let me get more controversial since we already the fuck up in here. You will see lesbian couples who still play out the roles of, quote, femininity and masculinity prescribed by colonial domination. Do you think that even how you identify, even how you experience yourself in your body is unaffected by your surroundings and the political contradictions that exist everywhere on earth? Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that? I done told y'all, I became, as a young girl, hypersexual because in my mind, that was the only way to get males to stop calling me masculine, that I had to conform to their version of what femininity was. I wasn't doing it consciously. I just hated negative attention. And so my little self, my young girl self was like, okay, I have to dress this way. I have to present this way. I have to do these things. And maybe people will stop. I didn't know at 16, 17, not 24, that what people were repelled by because of their conditioning was the presentation of power in a female body. That's what they were. When they were calling me mannish, when they were saying, why you act like a boy? Why you act like a man? Oh, she a tom girl. She a tom girl. That is a fucking crime to call a young girl a tom girl, a tomboy. Oh, she a tomboy. She a tomboy. No, she is a fully realized and actualized human being. And then you try to deny her access to power by shaming her. That's what you did. That's what you did. That's what you did. And so I watched some of these relationships, man, that I was always kind of confused by because of the presentation. Let me say this. Today's the last day. Today is the last day I'm using StreamYard. This shit is stupid as fuck. I was always fascinated by the malignant conformity. The conformity, let me say this, confused by and fascinated by the conformity to malignant expressions of femininity and masculinity within human relationships. The conformity, it's your subconscious doing it. You're not consciously doing it, but the conformity to malignant expressions of masculinity and femininity, both of which are impacted by and influenced by and defined by our rulers, our owners, by the church, by social mores that are also malignant. That's what she's saying. To be androgynous is to be fully actualized. To be androgynous is to have a heart where your divine masculine, your sacred masculine and your divine feminine are in harmonious union with one another in your heart, in your person, in your being. And whatever you say is your life is holy writ. Is holy writ. You understand? Yes, that's what is meant. That's why I had to digress, because man, she said that. She didn't say what I said. That was my digression. But here she says, we are not attempting to become equal to men in a man's world. That's what I was just talking about, that whole thing. How we understand gender, and everybody's so super political and super politically correct and shit around what we're experiencing around the question and the debate around gender. Spirituality never enters into the equation. One. The aspect of why we may feel in our bodies that our gender expression in our flesh may not be, quote, the gender that we are born. Can it be a factor that we all hold in our consciousness malignant fucking ideas about what femininity and masculinity is within a world that is completely dominated? The whole world is colonized. And it's colonized at the behest and with the goddamn social codes and mores of those whose only interest is to control the whole planet to exploit human beings for their fucking labor. That's the Roman Catholic Church. That's the goddamn Protestant institution. That's Judaism and Islam. These institutions are political institutions under the guise and under the fabric and shit, under the illusion and the mask of something spiritual. These are fucking death cults. These are death cults, and everything that comes from a death cult is meant to shorten our lives, our spiritual lives, to mutate and stunt our emotional development, our confidence, our courage. That's what that shit is for. So here we are debating about gender and who has a right to live on the terms that they goddamn set. I am opposed to that shit. But I'm also interested to see what human beings will look like when there is a world where oppression no longer exists. What will gender be? What will gender look like? What will fully embodied, empowered, sovereign entities look like when oppression and institutions of oppression are no more? where fucking malignant ass bourgeois codes of morality no longer set the standard and the terms for what, quote, true femininity is and true masculinity is. These are the questions that we have to be asking if we intend to change the world. We have to be asking these questions now and in an honest way. It's my personal opinion, especially if we go back and read the Great Cosmic Mother, especially if we go back and read the chapters on the divine homosexual family, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. That's the divine homosexual family. Okay, that's the name of the chapter. Don't be getting on me. If we go back and read that chapter, if we go back and read the chapter on the machine, if we go back and see how the church fucking played a role in every colonial conquest to date, to this day, the church plays a strategic and political role in the implementation of corporations and political turmoil, in especially places in the third world. The church plays an intimate, active role in that shit, in the facilitation of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'll be honest. If you're always looking at these institutions of our opposition as always creating the enemy, if you go back to what she's talking about in the Great Cosmic Mother in these last chapters, baby, every conflict, I just said that, every conflict between black women and black women, between black women and black men, between white women and black women, are constructed through this strategy of always creating and maintaining an enemy consciousness. Don't mean that we don't fit right into it. We don't jump right into our position to play our role as the enemy to another. We do that. You understand? White women do that in their relationships with black women. Black men do that. Black women do that. We all do it. But these constructions and these identifications that we hold onto ourselves, these labels that we give ourselves, are our participation in the state's creation and strategy of always maintaining an enemy consciousness. Where there is no enemy, where there's peace for too long, they create the enemy. They create an enemy for you, and you fall right in line. And I'm telling you. Anyway. That's what I'm saying is. She said, this is not us. This is not us trying to become equal to men in a man's world. We ain't trying to do what men do. She said, which would mean us settling for footing within the patriarchal space. That ain't what we're here for. It is rather something like God speaking forth a God self in the new identity of women. That's what it is. While life in the new space may be dangerous in that it means living outside the securities offered by the patriarchal system for docility to its rules, it offers a deep security that can absorb the risks that such living demands. Oh, this safety is participation in being, as opposed to inauthenticity, alienation, non-identity, in a word, non-being. I'm going to read that to you again because y'all ain't hearing. Y'all ain't hearing this preaching up in here today. This is not a mere becoming equal to men in a man's world, which would mean settling for footing within the patriarchal space. It is rather something like God speaking forth its God self in the new identity of women. While life in the new space may be dangerous in that it means living outside the securities offered by the patriarchal system for docility to its rules, it offers a deeper security that can absorb the risks that such living demands. God, yes. This safety is participation in being, as opposed to inauthenticity, alienation, non-identity, in a word, non-being. Non-being. The power of presence that is experienced by those who have begun to live in the new space radiates outward. Oh, radiates outward. Woo! Listen, weavers. Listen, daughters, sons, children, fates. Listen to the mother speak. She said the power of presence. The power of presence that is being experienced by those who have begun to live in this new radical space radiates outward like a storm, bitch, like a tornado, like a hurricane. You know, the arms, the branches that come off a goddamn hurricane and shit. That's what she said. The power of presence that is experienced by those who have begun to live in this radical new space radiates outward, attracting others. For those who are fixed upon patriarchal space, it is apparently threatening. That shit's scary when your brain fucked up. The inevitable evolutionary emergence of the new world seems terrifying to those stuck and hogtied to the philosophies of their owners. Whoa! God damn! Listen, there's a word up in here today. She said, for those of you who are fixed on patriarchal ideas, patriarchal spaces, patriarchal fucking convictions, patriarchal religions. For those of you who are fixated on the patriarchal space, it is apparently threatening. Indeed, this sense of threat is frequently expressed. What are we experiencing right now, 78 days before this bullshitting ass election? I just spent the whole intro telling you, get your mind right, get your reading done, chart your motherfucking course, bitch. Chart your course. Use what the mother has given you. Use the stars. Use the signs. Use prophecies. Use your dreams. Use your symbols. Use your oracles. Use your plant medicine to chart your course, to create a strategy. No different than that what you would that you would create if you were sitting with a professional at the chessboard. You don't go in there blind. You need to know who this motherfucker is. You watching videos about him. You're checking out his moves. You see how he do. That's what astrology affords you the opportunity to do. See how your opposition has historically moved. So you can get in front of fucking challenges that he may attempt to present in his malignant ass ways, in his malignant ass play. Huh? Get your readings. Get your readings. If you want to get a reading with me, this month is lit the fuck up. It entered into the month, September 1st, lit the fuck up. Our last hoorah between Pluto in Capricorn until the year 2254. I told you this is age-defining energy. This is age-defining energy that we are blessed with the opportunity to exist in. We are blessed with the eye open wide to be able to chart a course for future generations that will not have them hogtied to this goddamn quagmire. We can do that. To me, it's exciting. Yes, it's laborious. Yes, it's crazy. Yes, it's burdensome because these bitches are fighting for their fucking life. They are fighting to maintain a tranquil hold on humanity. But we got the 411 now. We got the 411 now. We do. This month that we are in, September 1st, Pluto entered Capricorn for the last time in 270 something years, 248 years. This is age defining energy that we have walked the fuck up into. Pluto entering into Aquarius on November 19th guarantees that if we enter with a strategy, if we enter with an energy, if we enter collectively, because here she say right here, what does she say about the alienation and inauthenticity and non-identity? We have to be. What did she say in Pure Lust? It meant to be. What did to be mean? Somebody tell me you remember what it meant to be. Somebody tell me. I told y'all I'm gonna start giving y'all motherfuckers pop quizzes. I'm gonna start giving y'all pop quizzes. Somebody better tell me what Mary Daly said in Pure Lust to be meant. What is the word used? The original word used that means to be. When she's talking about the greatest threat to patriarchy is for women to become, is for women to experience being. What does it mean? What's the word used? You know what? I'm gonna have an attitude if don't nobody tell me this. As much time as we done spent talking about what to be means, the word, a singular word that means to be. Yeah, I got an attitude. Because I be teaching in a way that I feel like anybody could eat off of. A 3-year-old, a third grader, a 12th grader can watch this shit and be like, she dropping dimes. I understand clearly exactly what the fuck she talking about. I feel like I teach that way. The whole book, Pure Lust, and I know some of y'all who commenting in my section over here was with me when I read Pure Lust. What was the reason that I said I read the book in the first place? What did Barbara Moore say about the book, Pure Lust, in her book, The Great Cosmic Mother? Damn, y'all killing me right now. I'm mad. The word, the origin, the etymology of the word sin means to be. The Latin etymology for the word S-I-N, that you have been beat over your motherfucking head with your whole life. The word that tells you that the reason you must burn in hell is because you are born in sin. The Latin etymology for the word sin means to be. To be. The Hebrew meaning of the word sin, S-Y-N-N, means mother moon. The Greek etymology for the word sin means she is. So with those three etymologies put together, every way that these patriarchal traditions have talked about sin as the great crime in humanity, it means she is to be Mother Moon. What did I say? With all of those etymologies put together, and what Mary Daly says in Pure Lust, is the original sin is to be born female. To be born female. She is to be Mother Moon. All three religions, Hebrew, Latin, and Greek, she is to be Mother Moon. The original sin is to be born female, is to be born she. And there is the foundation of every religion, every patriarchal religion on earth. Every patriarchal religion on earth. So here she say, and beyond God the Father, the greatest threat, the safety in participation of being. We protect ourselves by becoming together. I ain't just talking about females. She said led by females. What did she say? Centered around females. Centered around the most perpetually othered on earth. Centered around, but everybody coming the fuck up in the room to center their power, to center their protection, to center their support of, to center their upholdment of the becoming of women. That's what she's saying. Because she said in the previous chapter, this is men's responsibility too. It's to become androgynous. What does it mean for a man to become androgynous when power has been handed to him at birth? It means to nurture the imprisoned half of yourself that keeps you in a state of isolation. Your divine feminine, locked the fuck up and held hostage within your own spirit, within your own heart, within your own self, because you have drank the Kool-Aid to think that the presentations handed to you about what masculinity is, what masculinity's responsibility is, what power in the hands of men is supposed to look like: dominating, oppressing, aggressing, subjugating. You accept that shit and you play the role handed to you at birth. You do that. Just like we women play the role handed to us at birth. I don't need to work. I just need to be a glorified housewife, because that's what my role is to cook and clean the kitchen and have babies. Sex for anything other than procreation? Ew. We do that because we are malignant halves of ourselves. We are malignant halves of ourselves. The call for the human to become androgynous is to become fully realized, harmonized within ourselves, our divine our divine feminine and sacred masculine, living in harmonious union within each and every one of us. And then from that place, we project that divine harmony outward. Yes, yes, yes. Baby. She said the power of presence that is experienced by those who have begun to live in the new space radiates outward, attracting others. For those who are fixated upon patriarchal space, it apparently is threatening. Indeed, this sense of threat is frequently expressed. For those who are thus threatened, the presence of women to each other is experienced as an absence. Such women are no longer empty receptacles to be used as the other, and are no longer internalizing the projections that cut off the flow of being. What the fuck? This book was written in 1973, y'all. She said as soon as women start getting ghosts because they start heeding the call, they start internalizing that they need more, that they deserve more, that they deserve to be whole humans, that they deserve to exist in the present, in a state of presence that affords them the opportunity to be fully realized human beings. As soon as they start doing that, then the other perceives them as absent, not present. Women demand to be present. Women demand living in presence of themselves. But as soon as we do that, the opposition, those fixated on the patriarchal traditions, see that need for women as an absence. Why? Because their presence automatically cuts them off from accessing the other, cuts them off from being able to treat and use the female body as the other, as the quiet, compliant receptacle of manliness. That's what she said. As soon as we get right in the brain, we start checking out. Now, this was in 1973. Mary Daly said this. Then what are we reading today? Beyond God the Father and toward a philosophy of feminist revolution, liberation. And here you got thousands and thousands, unknown thousands of women in South Korea saying, fuck this shit. Can't nobody get no ass. We can't get no power. Y'all can't get no ass. We can't get no raise. Y'all can't get no ass. We can't get some guarantees as the perpetual breeders in this bitch. Y'all can't have no babies. Y'all can't plant no motherfucking seed. You feel me? We can't be treated well by our counterparts in society. We cannot be safe from your malignant ass aggressions against our very existence. Fuck y'all. Y'all can't have no access to us. To no ass. To no, hey, how you doing? Fuck y'all. She said it. She said it. When we began to be, that's all. What is the sin? The sin is to be. The sin is to be. What does it mean to be? To be means to be on the terms that you set. Because if you are existing on the terms set by somebody else, you are not being. You are not a full participant in the life afforded to you by your mother's covenant, your mother's blood covenant. She bled on your head with the promise in her mind that this was a destiny she was willing to support. This was a destiny she was willing to consecrate with her own body, with her own blood. I see a future for my baby that is wonderful. And then you're born into a world that tells you the exact opposite of what your mama's ambitions are for your life. That if you're born female, bitch, you don't stand a chance in hell. The best chance you got is to marry some rich nigga, is to align yourself with some motherfucker in power. You understand? You understand what I'm telling you? And so when women begin to be, what does she say? Motherfuckers feel threatened by that. Why do they feel threatened by that? Because it means they're going to have to work for a living. That's what it means. It means they're going to have to work for themselves. They ain't got no in-house slave that all they got to do is boo talk to and lay some pipe every now and again to keep that bitch faithful and committed. You feel me? Anyway. Woo! Listen. Such women are no longer empty receptacles to be used as the other, and are no longer internalizing the projections that cut off the flow of being. Men who need such projection screens experience the power of absence of such objects and are thrown into a situation of perceiving nothingness. Ain't that what they call them, red pill motherfuckers is? Honey, these red pill motherfuckers is in crisis. Why they spend 99.9% of their time talking about women? It's because women are divesting. Women are like, look, we're giving you an opportunity. We don't say we hate men. We say we're giving you the opportunity to be whole humans. And if you can't comply, if you can't get on board with that, using therapy, using plant medicine, sitting in ceremony like we the fuck do, recovering from your trauma, you feel me? If you can't get on our level, bitch, you just can't have access. And because they cannot use brute force anymore to guarantee access, now they're in crisis. Now some red pill shit. Bitches just don't know how to behave. Bitches, honey, red pill shit is a response to women's empowerment, to women becoming. Red pill shit, this fucking Roe versus Wade shit is a response to something that they see even when we don't. These women are the waking giant, are the waking dragon, are the coiled serpent that has been asleep and waiting to travel up the motherfucking spinal column of the earth, of the world tree, to burst open at the top and set this shit the fuck off. That's what they are internalizing. That's why the aggression, the increased aggressions against women. Somebody left my page, left my channel. I just feel like you were being really like doomsdayish when you're talking about the coming increase of violence against women. The coming increase of violence against women. Do you live in the world? What just happened in Afghanistan last week that nobody is talking about? How the Taliban has just made a new ban on the what you call it. Now, well, women can't even show their eyes in public. They have to wear the whole little, I forget what the outfit is, but now they have to have screens where their eyes, where it used to be, you could, your eyes could be seen. But the whole thing, burqa, whatever the fuck it is, covered your whole body except your eyeballs, right? The Taliban was like, bitch, we can't even see your eyes. Even your eyes is too tempting to men. So now the women, it's a crime for them to show their eyes in public. The Taliban just did that last week. All these progressives, all these feminists, all these leftists, all these motherfuckers, ain't nobody in the world. There ain't no outcry about what the fuck has just happened to the women in fucking in Afghanistan under the Taliban. Nobody. No American government. Oh, we're so progressive. Oh, we're just the saviors of humanity. Ain't nobody saying shit about that. Where girls have been permanently banned from attending school after the fifth grade. In same Taliban laws last week. That just happened. Where it's a crime punishable by imprisonment if a woman is caught walking around with her eyes showing in public. And how girls, women, attempting to get some kind of education for their girl children now are creating underground schools so their babies can go to school past the fifth grade because the Taliban has banned education for girls past the fifth grade. Why do they need that? Why do they need a society of women who don't have an education past the fifth grade? It ain't no different than what's happening in the United States. Because it looks different in its presentation, we can't see what the fuck it is. Well, we can't really do nothing about them people religions over there. Get the fuck, we can't. We would oppose genocide, but still champion people's right to practice their own religion that are religions of genocide, that are genocidal death cults. Islam is a genocidal death cult. Judaism is a genocidal death cult. Christianity is a genocidal death cult. Roman Catholicism is a genocidal death cult. Prove me wrong. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. We'll talk about everything but what the motherfucking issue is. Anyway. And so these motherfuckers are in crisis. And when these men are in crisis and when they realize for once and for all that they no longer, and let me say one more thing about this. Listen, I'm telling y'all all the time, my homeboy Abasi say, we always one nigga away from freedom. We always one nigga away from freedom. There's always going to be a sellout. There's always going to be somebody among us willing to sell out the crew, sell out the clique, sell out the future for the group for their own fucking purposes, right? He always saying that. We always one nigga away from freedom. Women, we always one women. We always one bitch away from freedom. We always one bitch away from freedom. Because as many red pillars as there are, they wouldn't have a foot to stand on if they didn't have Candace Owens's, if they didn't have, what's that bitch name? The ballerina, what's that girl name? The ballerina farms chick. Got y'all fucking feathers in an uproar that a billionaire ballerina farm wife is, quote, abused by her Mormon husband, but she hate niggas. Y'all, these black women crying crocodile tears for the ballerina farms, bitch. But don't you know that Mormons hate black people? That the cornerstone of their whole religion is that people are black because they sinned against God? They sided with the devil, so their asses turned black? I see all these black women with commentary lamenting about the poor, what do you call it? The poor groomed ballerina farm girl who got seduced by a billionaire and now is forced to have all these babies and shit. Y'all crying crocodile tears, but this bitch hates y'all. And she has been selling y'all a lifestyle that is one of imprisonment and making it look lovely, making it look wonderful. This is just a traditional lifestyle, and I'm just a traditional housewife. We are always one bitch away from freedom. And so make no mistake, as women start to become whole humans and fully realized individuals in the world, there will be more malignant patriarchal females to attempt to stay progress, that will attempt to sabotage our leap forward. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. There will be women who will attempt to stand in front of the progress of all of humanity to be beside men. To be beside men. You understand? And that's why when I told y'all about Princella and how all y'all was caught up by that woman, she one of them. She is in extreme opposition, but her goals and her ends was the same. Is to stay the progress of the becoming of women. It's to sabotage the mother's leap forward, to sabotage the mother's reemergence. I didn't blink when I said that. I mean exactly what the fuck I said. So whether it's a Becky ass housewife trying to sell you a goddamn pipe dream about how fun it is baking shit the fuck all day, or whether it's some I worship the great cosmic mother while I talk crazy shit off the other side of my goddamn mouth, and one day I love black women and the next day I hate you bitches. I hate you bitches. This is not one who is heeding to the mother's call. She's not. And so whether it's her on one extreme or whether it's the Becky selling you motherfucking baked goods on the other, the end goal is the same, is to stay, is to prevent, is to sabotage the inevitable emergence of the mother. That's real. So it ain't just men that is the problem. It's not just women that's the problem. It's all the other shit in between. There are going to be lesbians and gays, transsexuals and bisexuals. There's going to be, gender non-conforming, non-binary. There are going to be all kinds of agents, goddamn sleeper cells looking to sabotage the inevitable emergence of the one. Bank on it. Can you see who it is when they present themselves? Or do you get caught up in some bullshit and ass conversation that's supposed to be politically correct? Bitch, the issue is not you being gender non-conforming, trans, non-binary, hetero, cis, whatever label you put on yourself on any given day. The issue and the only issue at hand is, can we save the planet that we live on? Can we restore the body that we live within? Can we restore humanity to its rightful place in the Garden of Eden? Can we do that? Then everything else we can solve within the context of a healthy whole. Everything else, I'm telling you, is some state orchestrated bullshit that ain't got shit to do with the real world. And can we save ourselves? I'm telling you. Anyway, for example, when women deliberately stay away from meetings, social gatherings, in order to be free to do what is important to ourselves, there is sometimes an inordinate response of protest. Sometimes the absence is simply non-cooperation, refusal to play the game of sex roles, refusal to flatter and agree, etc. This too hints at presence of another space that women have gone off to, and the would-be users are left with no one to use. Sometimes, of course, the absence of women takes the form of active resistance. Again, it throws those who would assume the role of exploiters back into their sense of nothingness. Let me just tell you what she just said, y'all. It's been a thing. What did the boy say the other day? Many a genius born female have been lost to the greater good. She just said when a woman says, look, I ain't coming to the Sunday mass meeting. I ain't coming to cook the caramoo. You feel me? I ain't coming to cook the food for the organization. Yes, I believe in freedom. Yes, I believe in the revolution. But sometimes a bitch need a break. And when she take that break for herself, they give her flack. They give her beef. Oh, you ain't committed. You ain't committed to the movement. No, because what it means is that bitch gonna have to solve the problem himself, and he ain't got no woman in there to do it. I've been at too many political organizations where the default is women just go in and do, quote, woman shit. We do the caramel, we make the phone calls, we do the phone banking, we do out the postcards, we send it. We default, even in revolutionary spaces, to these imposed gender roles that don't have men do shit, but learn the politics so they can orate well. They can, quote, win people to the line, while women in there be carrying the whole motherfucking load. And they all acknowledge it. They all say it. Huey said it. Bobby Seale said it. Malcolm said it. Garvey said it 50 years before him. Yep. If you want something done right, get a woman. Get a black woman to do it. What did Malcolm say? Men are the mouthbone of men are the jawbone of the movement, and black women are the backbone of the movement. And we accept that shit. And so she said, when a woman say, I need a break, I don't want to come to the meeting. I don't want to come do the event. I don't want to come to the demonstration. I need a day off from liberation work. I need to be with me. I need to do some things that are important to me. They will try to guilt you. You ain't no real revolutionary. You ain't about that life. Instead of solving the problem for themselves and saying, yes, that sister is a hard worker, or that sister do this and that sister do that. Let's honor her rest. No, they will try to guilt you, because if you don't show up, vagina having human, that mean they actually gonna have to do some work. I mean, they gonna have to solve the problem they motherfucking self, instead of your ass complying to their fucking weaponized goddamn, what do they call it? Strategic and weaponized incompetence that run amok inside the goddamn movement, run amok inside so-called revolutionary spaces, run the fuck amok in so-called traditional religious spaces, African traditional religious spaces, fucking every native traditional religious spaces. The absolute total, almost just inherent default behavior of weaponized and strategic incompetence to ensure that all the females will pick up the slack, do all the work, do all the crisis management, do all the troubleshooting. That shit is real. Ask me how I know. I ain't just been in black political spaces. Been down here doing work within spaces within Mexica, Mexican people, Maya, Azteca people, Native people. They women got the same motherfucking problem our women got. Men in positions of leadership still using the weapons of their goddamn oppressors to oppress their goddamn counterpart, their political counterpart, their colonial counterpart. Y'all all do it. It's your motherfucking default. And y'all always want to dress it up as something traditional. Something traditional. Well, our ancestors always did it like this. Like you knew your ancestors. Like you listened to your ancestors alive in your blood. Saying, bitch, it's time to evolve. Shit can't work like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Behind Sister Golden is 999. Come on in the room. We glorify and dress that shit up in all kind of bullshit. Nope, it's a woman's work. Behind every great man is a greater woman. Ugh. Ugh. Mary said this shit gonna get deep. She said this in 1970. This shit gonna be deep because these women start coming once they start realizing, oh, I need power too, even within my social group, even within my racial group or my national group, among my national identity. I need power too, and start to internalize it and start making meetings. Why is it that women are always conditioned by external forces to stay away from each other, to hate each other? Oh, I don't fuck with bitches. All my friends are males. To not be in ceremony, not even ceremony, bitch, like 20 women go to the movies together, go out to dinner together. They husband's like, why y'all always going out? Why you always got to go out with the girls? That little slick ass shit they do is because they know once women start to get together, women start to talk. When women start to talk, they start to understand that the life that they are experiencing is not their own. That there are tendencies that exist among all of us. And once we can see the sameness in our struggle, it eliminates division among us. Okay? Listen. In this way, then, women's confrontation with the experience of nothingness invites men to ooh, you know what? Let me stop playing. Hold on. What time is it? 5:18. Hold on. Let me see if I got to work. Okay. I'm on an app, so I have to take jobs as they come in. And I had to turn my alerts off. Hold on, y'all. Hopefully I ain't got no gigs. Fuck. Give me just a second. I didn't intend to be on here this long, but I got a word. Let's see. Okay, no jobs. Okay, let's go. Okay, cool. Right on. So anyway, in this way, then, women's confrontation with the experience of nothingness invites men to confront it also. Many, of course, respond with hostility. The hostility may be open or, in some cases, partially disguised, both from men who are exercising it and from the women to whom it is directed. When disguised, it often takes seductive forms such as invitations to dialogue under conditions psychologically loaded against the women, or invitations to a quick and easy reconciliation without taking seriously the problems raised. Oh my God. Fuck. Other men react with disguised hostility in the form of being feminists' friends. Oh, shit. Not in the sense of really hearing women, but as paternalistic supervisors, analysts, or spokespersons for the movement itself. Oh my God. Despite the many avenues of non-authentic response to the threat of women's power of absence, some men do accept the invitation to confront the experience of nothingness that offers itself when the other ceases to be the other and stands back to say, I am. In so doing, men begin to liberate themselves towards wholeness, towards androgynous being themselves. This new participation in the power of being becomes possible for men when women move into these new spaces. Men can't grow unless we fully take responsibility for our evolution. Women. Because there's no incentive for them to grow. There's no incentive for them to evolve. There's no incentive to them for them to become genuine humanists. Entry into the new space, whose center is on the boundary of the institutions of patriarchy, also involves entry into the new time. To be caught up in these institutions is to be living in time past. This is strikingly evident in the liturgies and rituals that legitimate them. Oh, By contrast, when women live on the boundary, we are vividly aware of living in time, present, and future. Participation in the unfolding of God means also this time breakthrough, which is a continuing but not ritually repeated, process. Holy fuck. God damn it. I know somebody in their feelings right now. Because Mary, not just Mary, Mary Daly, Barbara Moore, Barbara Walker, Mama Zobe, who else we been reading up in here? What's her name? Bell Hooks. Who else we been reading up in here? Abiola. What's Abiola's last name? Where's she at? All these women we've been reading up in here. Octavia Butler. What else we been reading up in here? Sally Kempton. You feel me? Who else we been reading up in here? You feel me? Listen, somebody gonna be mad. Because what they are attempting to do is destroy everything that has been. Child, that means you're going to have to break away from your commitment. I'm always saying that the energy of Oya, me being Oya's daughter, the energy of Oya is to break away from everything old and create the new. Bitch, all this shit got to go. All the shit got to go. What can we create new out this bitch? Keep what's useful from the past. Toss everything in the junk heap, the incinerator, the flames that will ensure the rise of the new phoenix. You feel me? What has to go in the flames and stay in the flames? What's going to get burned up in the flames as the phoenix emerges? That's your rituals. That's your mindless, repetitious mantras. I've been telling y'all, I ain't going to go that deep, but here she just said it. Here she just said it. Entry into the new space whose center is on the boundary of the institutions of patriarchy also involves entry into new time. To be caught up in these institutions is to be living in time past. This is strikingly evident in the lethargies and the rituals that legitimate these edifices of the past. By contrast, when women live on the boundary, we are vividly aware of living in time present and future. Because that's what it means to weave. That's what it means to create in real time. That's what it means. Participation in the unfolding of God means, participation in the unfolding of God means also this time breakthrough, which is continuing, but not ritually repeated process. The center of the new time is on the boundary of patriarchal time. What it is, in fact, is women's own time. It is our lifetime. It is whenever we are living out of our own sense of reality, refusing to be possessed, conquered, and alienated by the linear, measured out, quantitative time of the patriarchal system. Women, in becoming who we are living on a qualitative, organic time that escapes the measurements of the system imposed on us. For example, women who sit in institutional committee meetings without surrendering to the processes and goals set forth by the male-dominated structure are literally working on their own time, while perhaps appearing to be working on company time. The center of our activities is organic in such a way that events are more significant than clocks. Oh my God. This boundary living is a way of being in and out of the system. It entails a refusal of false clarity. Essentially, it is being alive right now, which in its deepest dimension is participation in the unfolding of God. Oh, God damn, Murray. Woo, goddamn, Mary. Yo, let me write a note. Let me write a note up in here, y'all. I know good and damn well y'all better have this book already. I know that. I know y'all better have this book. If your book ain't marked up like mine, you ain't about this life. You ain't really up in here studying. You just listening to me read because you think I'm cute. You feel me? You ain't really about this life. I accept that I'm cute, but that ain't why you up in here. You feel me? It should be apparent then that for women, entrance into our own space and time is another way of expressing integrity and transformation. To stay in patriarchal space is to remain in time past. This is 1973. She said this shit is over. This shit is over. And where you gonna be at when the over is done? When the new has begun? She said this shit is over. And that's why they fucking out here dismayed and shit. Because the shit is over. And they can see the writing on the wall. Feel me? Oh my God. The appearance of change is basically only separation and return. Cyclic movement. Breaking out of the circle requires anger. God damn it. Breaking out of the cycle, she say, requires anger. The wrath of God. Speaking God's self in an organic surge toward life. Did y'all just hear that? While they trying to pathologize your rage, while they trying to pathologize your righteous indignation, while they trying to pathologize your anger, she say breaking out of the old order, breaking out of the old circle, breaking out of the old age requires anger, requires the wrath of God. Who does she call God? God? The woman becoming. The woman becoming is God. That's what she said. I didn't say that. She said that. The woman becoming is the unfolding of God. What are we always saying is the temple of emergence? The temple of evolutionary emergence? That it is we who will be preparing a place worthy of the reemergence of the great primordial dragon, of the serpent, of the sheep, of the great cosmic mother, our mother. It requires us in the real world making the preparation. What is the preparation? What is the preparation? According to Mary Daly, it is to remember who we are. It is the act of becoming. It is the act of full being, the participation in being, the participation in becoming, the collectivization of this process. Particularly for those born female, in the center, while being circled, encircled like the eye of a storm. The peaceful eye of the storm is the egalitarian society of women, and circling around them in protection, in violent protection if need be, like a storm, in violent protection of the center are her children. Everyone, from everywhere, from every race and every class and every gender, circling around the primordial she. Breaking out of the circle requires anger, the wrath of God. That's why you are pathologized. That's why you are pathologized. That's why you have always been pathologized. Is because they cannot afford for you to remember your rage. They cannot afford to allow you to express your rage. Breaking out of the circle requires anger, requires the wrath of God, speaking God's self in an organic surge towards life. Since women are dealing with demonic power relationships, that is, with structured evil, rage is required as a positive creative force, making possible a breakthrough, encountering the blockages of inauthentic structures. Oh my God. It rises as a reaction to the shock of recognizing what has been lost before it had ever been discovered, one's own identity. Whoa. Out of this shock can come intimations of what human being, as opposed to half being, can be. Anger then can trigger and sustain movement from the experience of nothingness to recognition of participation in being. Anger gives you that. Ooh, when this happens, the past is changed. That is, its significance for us is changed. Then the past is no longer static. It too is on the boundary. When women take positive steps to move out of patriarchal space and time, there is a surge of new life. I would analyze this as participation in God, the verb, who cannot be broken down simply into past, present, and future time, since God is form destroying, form creating, transforming power that makes all things new. Woo! Yo! Goddamn. Goddamn. Oh, that's crazy. Every woman can be angry and it's okay, but black women is the angry black woman. That's why. That's what she's saying, baby. That's why black women are labeled the angry black woman. As the original. As the original, they are the ones most, listen, most capable through acts of rage to transform all that is. That's why the dialogue against them is so vicious everywhere on earth. Everywhere on earth. The campaigns against black women, the dialogue, the narratives, the movies, the cinema, the music targets black women for this reason. And she's saying it is for this reason that we need to let that shit loose. We need to let that shit loose. That's all I'm gonna read for today. I didn't get far because I kept digressing. Damn, that actually is a perfect place to start, because we finally, after all these weeks, tomorrow we be finally getting to chapter 2. All these weeks, this is part 7 of the read. We finally into chapter 2 of this book. Oh my God. I keep saying I'm not going to digress, but Mary, man, we finally finished chapter 1. Oh my God, y'all. I know, but you know, y'all stay coming up on here, so I ain't fucking up that bad. Baby, today's read. So it is possible. Let me read some of y'all fucking comments. It is possible there's a call to reemerge on the church scene for me because the mother is making her reemergence there. I need to talk to you. Yeah, you do need to talk to me, because that ain't no shit I said. Rescuing witches out of church don't mean going to church. That ain't no shit I'm telling you to do. That ain't no shit I'm telling you to do. If that is something that you are working through on yourself, that's one thing. But the mother is not telling you to take your ass back into these bastions of hatred. That ain't what she's telling you to do. To rescue the women, to rescue these witches out these churches, to rescue these witches out these mosques, out these temples, out these synagogues, does not mean taking your ass unprotected up into these bastions of hatred where power is cornered. Where power is cornered. That ain't no shit I'm telling you to do. Now, if we need to talk and you need to get a reading because you're going through some things, because we all going through some things. Some heavy ass things. Some heavy ass things. I told you I was in a car accident last month. Somebody very dear to me was murdered this past month. We all going through some serious motherfucking gut punching changes. Jaw jacking changes. We still need to be on that square. Yes, lead by example, baby. Golden LYM Chic Chick Golden Amethyst 999 said, lead by example, baby. Lead by leaving the church. That's what you do. You lead by leaving that shit. Because then the women will start talking. Why that girl left the church? You heard why she left the church? Girl, she had a spiritual breakthrough and it didn't happen up in her. I'm trying to be up on what she on. You see how her life done changed? You don't feel what I'm saying? Whatever. But the mother ain't telling you to, the mother is not telling you to descend backwards. What the Christians call it, when you go, quote, when you leave the church to go out into the world, they call it backsliding. Oh, she done backslid. Honey, we don't need you backsliding back into the church. We don't need you to do that. We don't need you to do that. We don't need you backsliding. You feel me? We don't need you backsliding. The mother herself took me out of the church. She's just that dope. Child, me too. Me too. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know it was her. I thought it was the revolution. She's like, bitch, I am the revolution. I'm Oyan. Bitch, I am the revolution. Bitch, I am the future. Bitch, I am the certainty of the new. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I still had to make my trade. And what M Chick said, she said, okay, y'all. Okay. Yeah, we don't need you backsliding, boo. You got up out of there right on time, just when the mother said so. She's telling us right now, get the fuck up out of there. Right? Our anger can bring change. So it is because our anger can bring shift change. The diagnosis only exists in the patriarchal institution. Yes. Yes. But you know, Barbara Moore talked about it all throughout The Great Cosmic Mother, how the origins of so-called institutions of psychology and psychiatry were just the opposite ends of that dichotomizing of the Roman Catholic Church. It was just the same thing on a different spectrum. You feel me? I ain't gonna read all y'all comments because I went the fuck off. Now I'm tired. Now I gotta take a nap, and now I gotta get ready to go rub on people backsides and shit. Child, the Democratic Legislative Black Caucus in California sabotaged the bill for reparations 3 days ago. I did not even hear that. And that's why it don't surprise me. It don't surprise me because I told you. We always one nigga away from freedom. Women, we always one bitch away from freedom. Really. Damn. I didn't even know that. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm tired. Yep, that's it. I just got an appointment. So that's it for y'all. I'm gonna try to come back up on here tomorrow. Get your reading done. Stop playing games. Get your reading done. This week, I'll have some more details for y'all. I'm supposed to be interviewed tomorrow at 5:30, but this woman ain't sent me no details yet in terms of like where and how and whatever. So I don't know if it's pre-recorded, if it's live, I don't know. But there's a lot going on cosmologically this week. It wasn't just Pluto entering Capricorn, which was big on the first, and we'll be feeling that shit until Pluto is in retrograde too in Capricorn, and Pluto will station direct in Capricorn the first week of October, which is the same week of the fucking eclipse, which is the same week that we should be expecting what they call it the October surprise with this electoral bullshit is concerned. Check, listen, do the shit, get the reading. If you want a reading with me, email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. I had a lot of people inquire about readings and never follow up. I do not charge a lot. As a matter of fact, I don't charge enough. But I'm trying to keep it in a place where I can keep my rent paid, which is difficult to do right now. Keep my rent paid, keep myself afloat, wean my gigs. You feel me? Give y'all what you need because I'm giving y'all the goods. You ask anybody that I have read in the last 8 months since I started doing this medium, what they have thought about their readings. Have they been disappointed? Because I encourage people to be awesome. I'll tell you, give me a testimonial if you thought I was awesome. If you thought it was bullshit, you can email me directly and tell me it was bullshit. But don't be telling nobody else that shit. Don't be telling nobody else that shit. I ain't had a complaint yet. But I've had a lot of people inquire about readings this week. I don't know, maybe 8 people that inquired about readings this week and did not follow up. This week, the readings were crazy because of the fucking new moon in Pisces. That shit was deep, man. That shit was deep. These readings was deep. I'm crying. The person I'm reading for crying and shit. This shit was deep this week. It was powerful and it was exciting and it was invigorating. The mother does not want us out here suffering. But we have to use the tools that we have. That's your oracles. That's your sibyls. That's the divination. That's the work. Child, my Eshu and my warrior pot, I'll be honest. Because I'm going through this thing about the ritual being my life, the ritual being... Thank you, Claudia Ancra. She said Cassandra's reading was deep as fuck. Thank you. Let me show that comment. Book your motherfucking readings and stop playing. DC I don't know how to say your name. But she say her readings is the truth. I just had one and I have homework. Yes, you do. You feel me? So anyway, what was I saying? Damn. I don't even remember what I was saying. But get your readings and stop playing games with your motherfucking life. If you don't want to get a reading with me, fine. I'll have an attitude about it because I'm a genius. But get your readings with whomever you resonate with and see fit to get a reading. Chart your fucking course, baby. Do the work. Oh, that's what I was saying. I be always talking about how I'm the ceremony. I'm the ritual. And I believe that. But this week on that new moon, she was like, yes, bitch, you the one. You are the ritual. You are the ceremony. But I'm going to need you to show some love to your Eshu and to your warrior pot. You need to get squatted up. You got your warriors. You got your Eshu. Juice them up. Give them some liquor. Give them some candy. Give them some love. Show them some love. You need these outward expressions of ritual confirmation, spiritual confirmation. I'm not ritualistic about it, but when mother said that loud, bitch, take care of your pots, man. Take care of your A shoe. Show your A shoe a little love. You feel me? Blow the liquor, smoke the stogie. You feel me? I went over there and it took me a long time. My little corner was neglected. She was like, bitch, you need to power up. Take care of your warriors today. I put everything on pause, took my warriors apart, cleaned everything, and showed them love. This is a power up time. My birthday. This is the last my birthday coming up. My birthday is coming up. God damn it. And I don't ever ask for anything for my birthday. Every year I throw myself a birthday party because that's some Virgo shit. Every Virgo I know do that shit. We will throw our own party because we the best party throwers. Can't nobody throw no party better than we do. So we will throw our own parties. Okay. And if you want to book a reading with me, email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. releaseheartcenter. Let me type it in the comments. releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. Email me and I'll send you the details on how to, book your reading. Okay. Look, I took care of my warriors this week because I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit been happening. How about last night? I went to go do goddamn massages and I didn't want to. I was like, if I can get one more person to book a reading with me today, I don't have to go rub on white people's butts. And I couldn't get one more person to book a reading. So I went to go do, but everything in my spirit was like, I don't want to do this shit. I don't want to go do no motherfucking massages. So I went to do a massage. I was complaining the whole time. And it's like a conflict for me. I appreciate the money. It's easy money, as easy goes. You know what I'm saying? It's laborious work, but it's quick money. But I don't want to do it anymore. That's the bottom line. Here, Mary always be affirming the fact that I don't want to. I don't want to. And women have a right to say that shit for a change. I don't want to service others for a living. I am a genius and I need my genius to be supported so that my genius can win more people to the fold. I'm convinced my genius can win more people to the fold, not me rubbing on people. That's not the way to change the world. That's not the way to be the storm that fucking reaches out, you feel me, and attracts others. It's me living in my genius. It's me living in my art. It's me living in my music. It's me living in my genius. It's me living in the way I teach y'all. That will attract more people. But if my time is always diverted, rubbing on motherfuckers, I don't want to do that shit no more. So I had an attitude when I left up out of here last night. I wanted to do a reading at 9:00, but money came. Nobody booked me for a reading last night. So I was like, fuck it, let me go get this money. And it was only supposed to last for a little while. And then a little while turned into I didn't get off until midnight. Rubbing on people. Don't nobody want to do that shit. You feel me? So I didn't get to do the reading of the book last night. But because I had an attitude, I'm convinced that's what it was, because it was so fucking random. And I should have took care of it today, but I didn't. It was so random. I was mad. I had to go do 2 massages last night back to back. I had a grimy ass attitude about the whole thing. I went to go open my car door after doing the first massage. I see signs and everything, baby. I went to go open my door and my door handle broke off. My car ain't had but one owner. The car had 40,000 miles on it when I bought it. The car ain't had but one owner before me. And the handle was just like literally like tearing tissue paper off a toilet paper roll. I went to open the goddamn car door and shloop, the whole goddamn handle broke the fuck off. So now I'm in LA, I'm in motherfucking Hollywood and can't even lock my goddamn door. Not only can I not lock my door, let me tell you what the fuck else happened. I told you I was in a car accident. So my passenger side door won't open at all. My passenger side door won't open until I can get that side of the at least cosmetic side of my door fixed. So my passenger side door won't open. Now I can't let the window up on my driver's side Because if I let the window up, there won't be no way to get into my car. I cannot unlock the car through the back door. So I have to leave my car window cracked so I can put my arm, and I got a big ass arm, pick my arm in the car to open the door. That happened last night. I was like, I cannot. All I could do was laugh. I couldn't even be mad about it. I was like, I cannot do this shit. It's been crazy shit like this all month. So my spirit was like, bitch, you need to take care of your warriors and stop playing games. Give your warriors some love. I said, you know what? You got it. I went right in that corner and showed my goddamn warriors some love. You feel me? I bought some liquor last night, blew the liquor on Eshu and Ogun and Oshosi. You feel me? I ain't playing no games. You feel me? So, my birthday is coming up. And I owe my landlord a lot of money. So I was like, am I even going to be able to do something for my birthday this year? Because my plan was to just rent a car for a few days. My birthday is on the 14th. And it's the first time in a long time my birthday's been on a weekend. So I was real hype about it. I was like, I'm not going to throw a party. I don't feel like a party this year. I feel like being outside. This last trip that I went that was supposed to be like a fun camping trip turned out to be a disaster. That ayahuasca retreat bullshit. And my tent got destroyed. And the motherfucker ain't bought me a new tent yet. And all of this shit. I was like, I really want to be outside. I really want to be one with the earth. You know what I'm saying? I want to sleep on the ground. I ain't had a good camping trip in a couple of years. The last great camping trip that I had was when my homeboy and I and his family went to the Grand Canyon. But he booed up. So we don't even take our annual camping trip no more. It was me, him, his daughter, and his son would take an annual camping trip because all of our birthdays are back to back to back to back to back. My birthday, then his daughter's birthday, like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, then his birthday, a week and a half, 2 weeks later, then his son's. So every year for about 4 years, we would take a camping trip as our birthday, our birthday trip. And we would go someplace awesome. The last time we went on a camping trip was to the Grand Canyon. We ain't been on a camping trip since because he done got booed up. I'm like, bring the boo. But like, why we got to end the tradition because you booed up? Just bring the boo. You feel me? He ain't trying to hear that shit. So whatever. So I ain't been on a good camping trip in a minute. So let me tell you, I went to this thing for the April 8th eclipse. The next time, send out a blast communication. So no doubt somebody would book in that moment. Try it so you don't have to go and put hands on them people. I've been putting out blasts. Anyway. So what was I saying? Oh, so I went to do the thing on April 8th and collect, the crystals during the eclipse on April 8th. And I still got a handful of them, maybe 20 crystals left, right? From then that I'm using to make wands with. But I had been thinking a lot, like I've been prescribing a lot. There's been a lot of healers that have been calling me for readings. I cannot tell y'all how many nurses, RNs have called me in the last 2 months to get readings. So many RNs. Black women are tired of servicing people. Black women are sick and tired, and they don't know how to articulate it. This is what I got my education on. This is what my student loans are for. I like people and shit like that. But women, black women in particular, but not exclusively, because I done read for several indigenous and Mexican women who are like, I don't want to serve people no more. Am I wrong for that? I don't want to service people anymore. So many. Honor that shit. That's a voice that she has put in our head. We don't want to serve people anymore. We want to be served. We want to be taken care of. We want to be poured into. We don't want to be the fucking globe's servants anymore, women of color, right? And so women are feeling that shit collectively. I don't want to service people no more. Unless it's us, unless it's a group of women together pouring into each other reciprocally, I don't want to serve people no more, right? I feel that shit. So anyway, I've been telling a lot of women, in the meantime, you're going into these spaces where people are sick, people are laid low, people got these needs, and their energy is parasitic, not deliberately, but their energy is parasitic because they're deficient. And you are robust. They see you as robust. They like, damn, I want what she got. And then you end up depleted working in these spaces. One woman told me she's a death doula. Another woman told me she works in hospice. She literally spends her whole life taking care of people who are on the way out. I was like, do you keep any crystals in your pockets, under your titties, in your coochie, in your butt crack? Like you need crystals everywhere. You feel what I'm saying? You need crystals everywhere before you go to fucking work. No wonder your ass is exhausted every time. Not exhausted, emotionally, spiritually taxed the fuck out. You leaving your house, you going into places where people are literally waiting to die. Their family is waiting for them to die. They're waiting to die. The spirit world is waiting to receive them. And your ass ain't powered up. You in the middle of all of that shit and your ass ain't powered up. So I've been telling a lot of women, you not only need crystal quartz, so I be selling people the eclipse charged, juiced up crystal quartz that I traveled across the country going through all kinds of melee to get these crystals. These crystals is supercharged. So I've been, gifting and selling people the crystals, but they don't just need crystal quartz. They need black crystals, tourmaline, obsidian in particular, to shield, protect, deflect that shit, which they don't need to bring the fuck up in there. You feel me? I was like, damn, I don't have any obsidian to sell people. And I was like, where would I get, like ethically sourced obsidian? And then I was like, oh, fuck. I met this indigenous brother. 4 years ago, I met this indigenous brother. He is, what's it called? He is Paiute native. He's a Paiute native. And he was selling this beautiful obsidian artwork, all hand carved, hand shaped obsidian. I mean, his shit was out of sight, bracelets and daggers and jewelry. His shit was fire. And then he had a box sitting next to him, big ass box like this, full to the rim of giant obsidian pieces. I was like, oh my God, where'd you get all that obsidian? He was like, I'm gonna have to tell you. On the reservation where I live, it's everywhere. I was like, damn, where's the reservation? He was like, well, you don't even have to come to the reservation. There's a place in California that if there ain't a Californian I done talked to about it that knows what the fuck it is. Right? I done been to so many places in California where Californians are like, where's that? I've never heard of that. I've lived here my whole life. I be looking for shit. You feel me? There's a place in California called Glass Mountain. Glass Mountain. It's about 8 hours northeast of here, going towards Death Valley. Glass Mountain. This is where I want to go for my birthday. Okay. Glass Mountain is Google it. Google images of Glass Mountain in California. It's exactly what it sounds like. So apparently how Glass Mountain was formed was the consolidation of a prehistoric volcano. The volcano is not there anymore, but when the volcano erupted, when the lava dried into a massive mountain of obsidian. The entire mountain is made of obsidian. When I say the entire mountain, I'm saying through the trees. People say that through the trees, when you're driving towards the mountain, the whole mountain shines in the sun, even through the trees. The entire mountain's made out of obsidian. I was like, oh, there's just going to be obsidian kind of laying around. He's like, no, the whole mountain is obsidian. So I go and Google the shit. There are people taking pictures so you can get the gist of how much obsidian it is. There are people this big next to boulders of obsidian like this. They standing next to the boulder and they look like ants next to giant, massive boulders of obsidian. Glass Mountain, California. That's where I want to go for my birthday. I want to rent a car. I would like to rent a car. That way I ain't got to worry about all the other shit. I want to rent a car, make the road trip, maybe pitch a tent. I got to buy a new tent. You feel me? And do a ceremony, do a ritual, and then collect some obsidian to bring back and to sell, to those who may need it, especially all these people in the healing industry that I'm talking to who need the power up and don't even know it, can't figure out why they feel completely subdued and overrun. Because they taking too many spirits home with them. They taking too much shit home with them. You feel me? So that's what I want to do for my birthday. Get your readings so I can make sure I can still pay my rent if I take 4 days off this month. That's all it's going to be is 4 days off. I haven't taken a day off yet in 4 weeks. I'm literally working every fucking day, 7 days a week. I'm literally working. And so yes, get your reading. Anytime this month is great. I'm sitting here looking at the calendar. There's just back to back to back shit happening in terms of powerful events, energetic cosmological events happening this month, aside from the obvious big ones, which was Pluto stationing retrograde in Capricorn on the 1st, which was the new moon on what was it, Monday. Then the 13th, 14th, and 15th, there's some big astrological thing happening. And then the eclipse on the 18th in Pisces. And then a few days later, the equinox. And then on the 30th, there's something big. I forget what it is. I didn't put it on this calendar. It's a lot of shit. The whole goddamn month is a radical month, trend-setting month, age-defining month. Get your reading and chart your course. You need a reading, email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. Releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. I will email you back on this day. I looked it up. It's beautiful. Get some and make me a wand with that and a quartz. My birthday is April 8th, and the eclipse was all that as my birthday gift. Right on, Dion 408. I will make sure to do that. So I will get started on your wand, and your black obsidian will be your finishing touches. I would love to put an epic piece of April 8th eclipse energy on your magic wand. So that's all I got for y'all. Now I'm really going to get up out of here, try to get some food and a power nap before I have to go to work. This was fun. This reading was dope as fuck today. I love each and every one of you like you my blood family. I really do. I do not say that lightly. I'm also working on a project. The mother gave me a divine intervention this morning. I actually have to make the little plan of action for it today. But I think it's gonna be dope. As soon as I get the confirmation on the space, I'll tell you guys what it is. Okay? All right, let's go. Cassandra Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I will see you all tomorrow with the continued read of Beyond God the Father and Toward a Philosophy of Women's Liberation by Mary Daly, and probably some other shit, you feel me? And because tomorrow I'm taking the day off. I have actually clients in the house tomorrow. So I'm taking the day off in terms of being out of the house. Tomorrow I'm working from home. So I will be able to probably do 2 lives tomorrow, an actual reading, and then maybe like a presentation. And then after that, the next presentation will be our temple service on Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right. Thank you all. Thank you all for your comments and your participation. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.